Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to just call you by your initials CT, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a Toefl IBT. And I'm looking at your email right now. You say, I took the Toefl 2 times already. The scores are posted below here. I'd like to know if it is possible for me to improve from 92, which is the super score I have now, to 102 in about 2.5 months. Yeah, I'm going to say maybe it's possible. Generally, students who work really hard, CT, if they study really hard, they usually improve about 5 to 10 points in their overall score each month that they study TOEFL. But because your score is already pretty high and you want to go even higher, of course it requires more effort. Because the language issues that you have are very stubborn. And you will not be able to eliminate them easily. You have to do a lot of practice, right? So you say, I plan to retake the TOEFL in mid-June. You say, if in cases not, which time do you think is best for me to retake the test? I would try to give yourself at least 3 months. This is my opinion. Study for the TOEFL for 3 months very diligently, following my plan. At the end of the 3 months, you can take a full-length IBT practice test. And I have another website that I contract where we can do that. It's only like $34. So instead of paying $200, you can spend $34 and take a practice test. It takes 5 hours. You will get subtotal scores in the reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And in the case of the speaking, you will do 6 speaking tasks. You'll get scores on that. You'll do 2 writing tasks. You'll get scores there. So after the practice test, then you can see how close you are to your goal, and then you can make a decision about whether or not you want to take the official TOEFL exam. You say, do you have any recommendations for me to improve my overall score, especially reading? I like to read things related to technology, math, physics, but I don't know where to find good stuff to read for the TOEFL. Yes, I can help you with that. I have a few recommendations here. So really, if you want to get 102, you need to get, let's say we work from this second attempt here in January, right? So you want to get at least 5 or 6 points higher in each area. Your listening is already pretty good, but for sure you want 5 points higher in the speaking, at least 5 points higher, 5 points higher in the reading, 5 points higher in the speaking, 5 points higher in the writing, maybe 2 or 3 points higher in the listening. If you can do that, you will be over 102, right? So what do? Number 1, let's talk about reading. So in order for you to improve your reading, there's 5 things that you want to do. You might want to write these down. Right? I'm going to give you a lot of information here, and you can watch a video 2 or 3 times if you don't get everything in the first showing. But I'm going to show you how you can do this right now. Right? The first thing is you want to start reading every day for about 45 minutes. Don't read TOEFL materials. They're too boring. You're not going to finish them. You're not going to be motivated. Read things you have an interest in. I recommend that you spend a lot of time with newspapers, magazines, and books. So if you want some newspapers, I'll give you a suggestion. A good one, maybe the Wall Street Journal. That's a great newspaper for business. If you want one just for current news and such, but good vocabulary, maybe the New York Times. So the New York Times newspaper or the Wall Street Journal. Start reading those. Right now, number 2, you also need to build your vocabulary. You can do this in my online TOEFL course. I have vocabulary lesson 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can master 1,700 words if you study those lessons and learn those words. Number 3, you need to increase your reading speed to at least 300 words per minute. I don't know what your reading speed is right now, but if you take my online TOEFL course, you can complete 70 speed reading practice tests with comprehension questions that will help you improve your reading to at least 300 to 350 words a minute. You want to do that. Number 4, you need to become more familiar with the TOEFL IBT reading question types and the strategies for answering those questions. Now, I'm guessing you already have a TOEFL book that you can use to do that. If you don't, my online course, in the reading section of my course, I do have several videos that will tell you all about the reading question types and the strategies for answering them. Now, the last thing, number 5. You should complete full-length IBT reading practice tests. They should be TOEFL level. Now, my website focuses more on speed reading, so if you want reading practice tests, TOEFL level practice tests, use your TOEFL book. Now, if you want some super, really almost exactly like the TOEFL, I do have another website that you can take some section-specific reading tests. I think the website charges about $14 or $15 a practice test, but you might want to take a few reading practice tests to monitor your progress. If you can do those 5 things, you're reading every day, you're improving your vocabulary, you're increasing your reading speed, and then once you've done those 3 things for a while, then you start becoming familiar with the reading question types and the strategies for answering them, and then take some full-length TOEFL level reading practice tests. That's going to make a difference with your reading. How long? It probably takes you about 3 months to get some really good results following these suggestions. Alright, so in addition to that, doing the reading, you remember that first suggestion about doing reading practice every day? So let's stay along that line. So you're doing reading practice each day, maybe 45 minutes. So in addition, you should also do some listening practice every day. Now, you don't need to do too much. Your listening is pretty good, at least based on this score here. But maybe 15 or 20 minutes of listening practice. Now, here's a key. As you do the reading and the listening practice, you should take notes. Okay, so remember, I'm encouraging you to do some reading and listening practice every day, and you should also be taking notes on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. So that's not enough, though. Using your notes, I want you to speak and write about those passages. And guess what? That's going to help you in the speaking and writing areas. So what do? So using your notes each week, you should write 3 summaries, 3 academic summaries. Each summary should be about 250 words. Right? That's going to help you get a little more comfortable with writing about other people's ideas. Remember, you'll say things like the reading passage states, the writer claims, the speaker suggests. Make sure that when you mention these ideas, we know that it's coming from the reading or the listening passage. So you should be writing 3 250-word summaries every week. Obviously, in addition to writing practice here, you should also be doing speaking practice. So again, using your notes, you should speak about the reading and the listening passages. What do? Maybe 3 or 4 60-second oral summaries each week. That's going to be important for you. Oral summaries. That means that you record yourself summarizing the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. I recommend that you record yourself so that you can listen to the response again, and you can pay attention to your delivery, your language use, and also your topic development. That's also going to be good. So far, everything that I've said, I haven't even mentioned my online course, not too much anyway. So everything that I'm suggesting, it's things that you can do today without anybody's help, without anybody anywhere. You can do these right now. You can get results very quickly if you follow this study plan. Is it going to be hard work? Yes. Is it going to require maybe a couple or 2 or 3 hours a day? Of course. But if you do this for a few months, you will be able to get that 102 or higher score. Right? Now, all of these suggestions. Now let's talk about my online TOEFL course. My suggestion here is for you, not all of my lessons will be that important to you. Some of the lessons you already know that information because your score is already pretty high, but here's my recommendation. I recommend that you go through the vocabulary, grammar, and the pronunciation sections of my course first. Do that first. Do those first 3 sections. When you get those first three areas of my course done, and some of the lessons you might skip them because you already understand the information, move on, right? So once you've done that, then you can focus on the reading and the speaking parts of my course. No, the reading and the listening parts of my course. That's what I recommend next. And finally, once you've done those sections, then you can focus in the writing and speaking. Now, this is just a suggestion of how you can use my course. Once you become one of my students, you'll have complete access to all 700 of my vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking lessons. So you can do anything you want, any day, anytime, anywhere, as long as you have a good internet connection. Now, a lot of students use my course for really 2 reasons. I'll be honest with you, and you might be one of these students. A lot of students already have a lot of good study materials for the TOEFL. However, they don't have anyone who will give them feedback on their speaking and writing practice tests. So I'm saying it now. You can complete speaking practice tests on my website. You can post them at my VoxyPop discussion group, or you can email them to me directly, and I will listen to and comment on those speaking practice tests and give you a score. I will also read and comment on your writing, so you can have writing scores. So if you want to start doing that, certainly you can start doing that once you become one of my students. Okay? Anyway, thank you very much, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.